Thank you for choosing the Partition Network. Check out this latest episode of Choppin It Up with Lil Ron. If you like the episode, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like the episode, give us a thumbs down. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave the comments in the drop. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And also, last but not least, you can now purchase the new product line from the Partition, Choppin Up with Lil Ron, kickz&trickz, and more. Until next time, remember, anything is possible. I hope you enjoy this new episode. Welcome back to Choppin' Up with Lil Ron. I want to welcome you guys back to Season 2. Season 2, I told you I had some special guests in the building. Today, I have a very, very special guest. He plays a key factor in Choppin' It Up with Lil Ron. He plays a key factor with kickz&trickz and the King's Lounge. I want to welcome the one and only Mr. Iconix, Anthony Johnson. How you doing, Mr. Johnson?
I'm glad to be here, Lil Ron. I'm glad to be on the set. You know, Ron done pulled me from the back of the camera to the front.
There you go.
This is a rare honor because I don't be showing my face on TV.
You know, I had to get you on this season because last season we had your wife on and we had several other guests that came on to the show. So I wanted to make sure I have you on this season of the show because it wasn't no more than right but to bring you on. But for my fans that don't know who Mr. Iconix is, can you give them like a little brief summary of who you are and what you do?
Brief
right.
Summary. I'm a Billboard music producer.
Billboard.
Music producer, part of the Recording Academy member.
Man.
Voting member that, you know, I done became a part of. Then also, you know, we have Iconix Radio.
Yes.
Iconix Record. And I am Mr. Iconix. Y'all already met my wife, you know. Miss McKell Rose.
Man, you know,
follow her later.
You know, she fired, man. She come on the show. She is full of energy, man.
Right.
And but I know you are the guy that kind of laid back.
Yes.
Like a Dr. Dre. Like,
That's right.
I just lay back. Listen. I'm just chilling. Hey, look here. I'm just speaking.
I'm just here. You know, I just want the billions.
There you go. The billions. We gotta get to that million before we get to the billions. Yeah. But what I want to talk to you about first thing is some of the artists that you actually work with, because you work with a lot of artists throughout the years.
Right.
And how was it very difficult working with the artists in the music that you actually deal with? Because, you know, some people try to come into the music thing and think, man, this is easy. I can knock this out, piece of cake. I just go in the studio, give me some egg cards and stick them on the wall, hit record on my computer, and boom, there it is.
Yes, look, listen. I done built a lot of rooms to people's studios.
Wow.
Because instead of, you know, setting up my own room, I will always go to the studio and learn. Because I would say, let me see, because I felt like my sound wasn't sounding right, like after I came out the studio.
Gotcha.
You know, it was always a difference. So, you know, I said, man, I would go and invest in myself, but learn.
That's right.
I would take their sessions and come and study them back at home.
Like an intern.
Like an intern.
Gotcha.
And so that's what I would do. I would study. Oh, man, what plugin did they use here? Or how did they verbalize a song? Or how did they do this or that? You know, I always wanted to study the method and just instead of going, hey, man, let me go in the booth and just do it.
Yeah, right.
So, no, I didn't do that. So, you know, I did a whole lot of that. Like, with all of the artists, man, my brother, his name's simply Fred. That was my first I'm not going to say guinea pig.
Is he out of Detroit?
He's out of Detroit.
From where you from? A lot of people know you from Detroit.
I'm from Detroit, born and raised. Detroit, Michigan. So,
ain't it's a guy from New York? His name is, I'm sorry, not New York. From Detroit, named Ron Fest.
Yes.
Yes, I remember seeing some stuff on Ron Fest because I think If I'm not mistaken, I think him and Eminem had like
Yeah.
a battle a long time ago.
Yeah, and he got killed. Now that's just the crazy thing. D12 and Eminem, they would come up to our school, Mumford.
What? For
So
real?
like that 8 Mile, like what you seen,
Mm-hmm.
like when I was in high school, I knew his group. I was friends with them.
Wow.
So Eminem would come up to the school, and everybody was always trying to figure out who is this,
this crazy
this
white guy.
Yeah, because it was all black school.
Oh man, I did not know that.
100% black.
Wow.
And so it was like, but then when everybody started hearing them spit, it was like, oh man, this dude got something. So like that whole 8 Mile, so man, they would go to battles.
So that is actually real. That's not just fabricated.
That is real. That is real. And what they did in the movie is a little worse, but they had to do the commercial side.
Gotcha.
So, hey man, me and him, D12, we would be in class together, and everybody would be going like, oh, I'm going to that. Then I met Stevie J off of Love and Hip Hop.
Bad Boy guy.
Bad Boy.
A matter of fact, Faith Evans' husband.
Yeah. He's
they
from
be
Detroit.
going through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's from Detroit.
I didn't know Stevie J was from...
Stevie J is from Detroit.
Wow.
A lot of Puff Daddy hitmen back in the day, all of them was from Detroit. The majority of them. And it's like, man, I played with these guys. We produced and everything together. Then Stevie J's cousin, name is Todd, and he brought me to the studio, and it was Eminem's first studio.
Whoa. So see, I didn't me knowing you personally, see, I didn't know that one right there. Yes, that's a fast one.
It was his first studio, and what he did was he had, before he started rapping, he was almost like that, what's the group that came out? I forget their name. But it was like 3 of them, like and they were white boys. And they were rapping, I forgot, but he had a group.
From the out of New York, Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a group like that. And so what it was it was 2 guys and him. And what he did was, after he made it big, he came back and gave both of them guys $1 million.
I didn't see that. You give me some jewels that I didn't even know.
Yeah, so I was working out there working with Stevie J cousin. So we was producing and everything like that. Like, hey, yeah, man, it's Eminem studio, man. Eminem studio was like around the corner from the house. And it's still on 8 Mile to this day.
Wow. Do you ever come across, when you said Stevie J, I'm thinking about Puff Daddy and Bad Boy. Did you ever like come across like some of the big names in Bad Boy?
Well, listen, some of the big names of Bad Boy is some of my friends. Because a lot of them that rap were, before they got made, they were like from Detroit coming. We'd be producing in the same studios. Hey, man, let me get some sounds from you. Let me get sounds from you. So it was like a lot of them guys, when I be seeing on TV, like, oh, man, I know him. Man. I just don't reach out to them because I always want to have my stuff together. You
like me. I don't want nobody to feel like, man, I'm just using somebody's name just to try to get a name. Right. I don't like doing that myself either.
So, yeah, a lot of my friends, I don't use until it's like, hey, man, this is what I got going on.
If you got to pull that card.
If I got to pull that card. But I don't pull them until it's time.
It has to be emergency for me. If I do it, has to be emergency.
Right.
A lot of people don't know how we actually met. How me and Anthony actually met is crazy because one of the guys I went to the barber school with, named Jonathan, called me about a MacBook.
Yeah.
And when he called me about a MacBook, he said, hey, man, Ron, why don't you hook him up, man, take care of him. Yeah. And from there, man, it's like it just was like magic, man. We stayed in contact.
Right.
And
listen,
from there,
let me tell y'all something about Lil Ron. Yeah, I know I was supposed to look at the camera. Richard told me not to, but I am. This man right here is a man of his word. I was like, we were in New Orleans, and we had went to a pawn shop. We was like, we seen the Mac, and it was like about $300. And so I called Jonathan. I was like, man, do you know anybody that do? He was like, call my boy Ron. Ron answered on the first name and say, don't get the Mac. He said, if you can't he told me how to do something. I ain't going to tell you because he might have to tell y'all. And I did exactly what he said. He was like, you can get it. We flew back to New Orleans on Saturday night. On the Sunday morning, I gave Ron the computer. Sunday night, Ron called me like, hey, it's done. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I was like, Ron, I ain't got all the money. He said, man, just give me half down. And I'm gonna pay. He was like, "Dude, you can pay the rest." I'm like, "Man, I'm gonna make sure I have to take care of this man." And then after that, me and Ryan has been tight ever since. But that's how I started. It was a MacBook and a Cash America Pond. I shouldn't be giving out names. And Ryan hooked it up and gave me the computer back with all the software. I'm like,
That's right. That's right.
Pro Tools, Logic, and I was like, "Oh man!" All the plugins too.
And that's crazy. A lot of people don't know. People that know me as a computer man. Right. So when they see me on the talk show, they're like, "How the computer man turns to a talk show man?"
Right, right.
And I tell them, "Hey, look, man, if you're doing the same stuff for 10 years and you're in the same spot and you don't turn back around and try to shape and form and do something else, then something is actually wrong." So I just try to like branch off and do something totally different. But what I do want to talk about, how you came up and you actually ended up helping us with that track for kickz&trickz. Because actually without you, we wouldn't have got the award that we actually got for season 1.
Oh wow!
Because you actually helped us out, and you did it on the strength of love. You didn't do it because you wanted something out of it. And a lot of people think that you just do. People do things just because they want something. No. This is one guy that I told him I needed it. He provided the track, and boom. The rest was history. And then you working with an artist off my soundtrack named Memory. And I can't wait till they do that stay.
That's Rod's little song, and I ain't let him get it yet because it got to be mixed.
That's right.
And then I think we did like 3 or 4 songs with her. Then we did with your T Carter.
Yeah,
for the soundtrack.
T Carter and Salvo.
Yeah, Salvo.
Yes.
So they
and
came
me.
And see, Lil Ron made his debut. People, I can't wait for y'all to hear it.
It's gonna be tight.
It's gonna be tight. All I can say is you gonna remember kickz&trickz.
Now on the last season, I talked to your wife about the relationship show that we're gonna partner up and actually do. Have y'all came up with a name for that show, or it's still under the radar?
It's still under the radar. We still working on the name so that we can make sure that we have the right name and the right fit for it, so that we can be talking about a relationship. Because being in this business and being married in a relationship is not real popular, because you got to know who your mate is, because you don't want to, this music business. People come.
It's like a marriage.
It's like a marriage.
Yep.
Then you got people come in there and it's like, and what a lot of people don't understand is with connections. Mm-hmm. You can have a music connection. You'll be sitting there and people will be drawn to you because you do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of that get a lot of people in trouble in the music business, because you see, man, this one with that one, that one is with this rapper. And you be like, oh man,
people do that with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah,
they be like, Jay-Z, Beyonce talk to him out of all people. Bobby Brown talk to Whitney.
Yeah.
You can't control people like Stevie J and Faith Evans.
Yeah, Faith Evans. Yeah.
Like, man, why they talk to each other like?
Right.
Because they don't feel like that they are a compatible match.
Right.
But you can't put a relationship cap on somebody.
You can.
You just can't do that
because you don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
That's right. What do you have coming up next? Like, what's in the future? Are you producing any upcoming films? Are you doing?
Yes, well, we're working on a documentary with my wife, with Cecil Shaw, and then we're working on a documentary with Mr. Lil Ron.
Yes,
and then we got a lot of coming up. I'm gonna do a Mr.Iconix compilation album for myself for next year's Grammy. Since being a Recording Academy vote member, I was able to put some of my wife's music and a couple of other people, but I'm gonna just take a couple of artists, different artists from different genres, and put a compilation together.
Oh wow, that's gonna be fire.
Yeah,
man.
It's gonna be fire, and that's what we're working on now, and submit that to the Recording Academy for the ballots for the Grammys next year.
Wow, a lot of people probably try to figure out like, how can I do this, and is it hard doing music? Do you ever have days where you feel like you just don't want to do it, you just want to give up? You just be like, nah, I just take it with a grain of salt, man, and I take the good with the good and the bad with the bad.
Yeah, it'd be days, because when you really love it, and not to fight the industry, but so many people are just taking anything and putting music out, and you get caught in the shuffle.
Yes.
So like you can have real good music, but if they don't heard, what a lot of people don't know is Spotify gets 400,000 submissions every week.
Wow.
People are putting out 400,000 songs every week. Now you times that times a month. Ooh, so you got to see Where do you fall in that? Some good, some not. So you have to say, man, you know, when you're working on music, you're working with different artists, and you're putting your heart into something, and then they don't have that same passion. Yeah.
Well, that's why we got Iconics Radio.
That's right.
Matter of fact, speaking of Iconics Radio, kind of tell the people a little bit about Iconics Radio.
Yes,
those people that don't know.
Iconics Radio is a radio station for all independent artists.
Okay.
You can hit us up on iconicsradio.com. We have different packages, but we try to help the people that's not on mainstream radio.
There you go.
Because you're not all going to get on mainstream radio.
You sure right.
So you can submit your song, and we can play it. You can submit your album. We can do interviews and everything to help the independent artists.
That's what, independent is very important.
Yes.
Now, we're down to what we call the Leon's Top 5. Last season, we changed the regular Top 5 to Leon's Top 5 in honor of my cousin Leon that passed away. So what is Anthony, a.k.a. Mr.Iconix, Leon's Top 5?
So my top 5 for us, what?
Dead or alive. Music.
Oh, you talking about music?
Yeah, music. Your top 5.
So, well, I'm going to go with producers since that's what I do.
Okay, you're a super producer.
Now, it's not in any order.
Okay, cool.
So, first of all, Dr. Dre.
Okay, yeah.
Dr. Dre, Timbaland.
Okay.
Pharrell.
All right.
Rodney Jerkins.
Okay.
Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis.
Jimmy Jam. Man, I think of Janet Jackson.
That's right.
And when you said that. And Prince.
Right. Prince, Janet Jackson, a new addition.
Yep.
They have recorded a lot of people that a lot of people don't know.
But what I do want to do before we get ready to leave, we're going to head out, tell the people how they can find you.
You can find me on either Mr.Iconix, and that's Iconix with an X. That's Iconix, the producer. And then you go to Iconix Radio, which is on Instagram. And then you can go to Iconix, Iconix radio.com and find out about the radio station.
Okay.
Everything Iconix.
And you know something? I do want to thank you. We had a successful season 2 to kickz&trickz, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to you and that track. And we always going to recognize. Now, I wanted to make sure that everybody know how good you are. And I got a special gift for you.
A gift for me?
Yes, I do.
Wait a minute.
You actually... Here's your placard. This is your placard.
What?
That's right. Hey, season 2 is already complete.
Really?
Everybody got theirs. There you go, sir. Look at
my plaque.
That's your third one.
That's my third plaque
Yes,
I get to put on the ball.
Yes, that's your third one.
Well, I tell you, right, you old sneaky. I can't even say it on the radio.
Yes, man.
I appreciate this. And
I appreciate you, man. You looked out for me, and I wanted to make sure you got that placard, and I want the world to know how good a producer that you are. That's your third one that you got.
This is my third one, and it's going up on the wall. I think Richard could probably put a picture of the wall up for y'all to see for the behind the scenes.
There you go. Real Richard charged $50 installation.
Yeah.
That's how you do
talking about Mr. Iconix is $50. I'm like, well, you gonna get it one day.
Well, I tell you what, man. We will bring you back on the next season of the actual show, and I recommend you guys to actually subscribe to his channel and follow Iconix Radio. But until next time, remember, anything is possible. Thank you for choosing the Choppin' Up with Lil Ron show. We out. Peace.